Hi there, and welcome. My name is Anna, and I'm here to talk about social anxiety along with some tactical, real-time ways to overcome it when it strikes. If you enjoy this video or find it useful, please hit the thumbs up button and subscribe because it really helps out me and the channel. So, what exactly is social anxiety? The National Institute of Mental Health states that social anxiety disorder is an intense, persistent fear of being watched and judged by others. A person with social anxiety disorder feels symptoms of anxiety or fear in situations where they may be scrutinized, evaluated, or judged by others, such as speaking in public, meeting new people, dating, being on a job interview, answering a question in class, or having to talk to a cashier in a store. Doing everyday things such as eating or drinking in front of others or using a public restroom also may cause anxiety or fear due to concerns about being humiliated, judged, and rejected. The thing about social anxiety is that the strength of it can vary depending on the situation you're in and how you are feeling internally in that moment. Speaking from my own experience, I've had times where I've had to get up on stage and speak in front of hundreds of people and felt relatively fine. But then there were also times in my life where going to the supermarket would make me break out into cold sweats and heart palpitations, just pushing a cart down the aisle if I had to cross paths with another person. I'm not joking or being hyperbolic. Like, this really happened. So if you get hit with any degree of a social anxiety attack, here are some things that you can do. According to Wikipedia, the spotlight effect is the psychological phenomenon by which people tend to believe that they are being noticed more than they really are. And why does this happen? An article in Psychology Today sums this up as, now, hear me out, egocentrism. We are all the center of our own universes. And this is not to say that we are arrogant or that we value ourselves more than others. It's that our entire existence is from our own unique experiences and perspectives. And we use those experiences to evaluate the world around us, including other people. Or, as the Wikipedia article puts more politely, it's somehow more bluntly, the reason for the spotlight effect is the innate tendency to forget that although one is the center of one's own world, one is not the center of everyone else's. Reminding yourself about the very real spotlight effect can be a calming and liberating way to handle social anxiety when it hits. A quick exercise if you feel up to it. If you feel like somebody's watching you, but you're avoiding eye contact so you can't be entirely sure, try challenging yourself to look at this person. There's a very good chance that this person isn't actually looking at you at all. But even if they are, get curious about it and look at them back. Like, hey, what's up? Also, hat tip to bravery. So, after reminding yourself about the spotlight effect and having that pressure taken off of you, try using that freed up attention to turn your gaze outward to whatever's in front of you in that very moment. Pick something, anything to focus on, like trying to determine exactly what shade of green that wallpaper is, or where that person got their really cool sneakers. Or if you're with somebody, focus your attention solely on them. What they're saying, their facial expressions, their hand gestures, the way their eyes light up when they talk about certain topics. And while you may currently spend a lot of time wondering how you're being perceived and wondering what other people think about you, how much time do you spend determining if you are actually enjoying the environment that you're in? In prehistoric times, acceptance from the herd was essential for survival. You got cast out, you had to fend for yourself for everything, including food, shelter, and defense. Being part of a tribe and staying part of a tribe could literally make the difference between life and death. But these are modern times, and the stakes are so much lower now. And while failure and rejection might feel like a life or death situation at times, if we're being literal here, chances are they are not. And I'm willing to bet that finding a new tribe is going to be a lot easier now than it was back then. But if you want an exercise to do, try writing down what rejection would look like and feel like in your worst case scenario. Even if something awkward or embarrassing were to happen that makes you want to melt into the floor or even wish that you were dead, just remember that feelings pass, including yours. People move on, and no matter where you are or what you are or are not doing, you are still here and you are still writing the story that is your life. This is just but one line of it. Being able to identify your anxieties can help you be proactive in managing the attacks when they hit. So I ask this sincerely, and this is not a rhetorical question. What exactly is it that you're so afraid of? I find journaling to be incredibly helpful here. If you know that you get anxious at networking events or social gatherings that consist of more than 2 people, or going to a restaurant because you know that ordering food is going to require making eye contact with a member of the staff, take whatever time you need in advance to understand where these feelings are coming from, if that's something that you want to do. But more importantly, I suggest taking the time to come up with ways to make yourself more comfortable when you are in that specific situation, if you know that one of these events is coming up. Whether it's taking a relaxing bath beforehand, or having a set of affirmations to read out loud before heading out, or scheduling a treat for yourself for after your thing is over as a reward and something happy to look forward to at the end of the rainbow. Also, I find that just having more certainty in and of itself is calming. Like, rather than just having all of your anxious emotions swirling around, pinpointing the triggers can help to contain them and immediately help to make them smaller and more manageable somehow. To sum up the importance of this in 3 words, mind-body connection. According to the Harvard Medical School, engaging in physical activity can not only help divert your attention from the very thing you're anxious about, moving your body decreases muscle tension, it activates the frontal regions of the brain that are responsible for rational thinking, and getting your heart rate up literally changes your brain chemistry. Increasing the availability of important anti-anxiety neurochemicals such as serotonin, gamma-aminobutyric acid, otherwise known as GABA, which is known for producing a calming effect and thought to play a major role in controlling nerve cell hyperactivity that is associated with anxiety, stress, and fear. And bonus, brain-derived neurotropic factor, otherwise known as BDNF, helps to repair brain cells and make new brain cells. Eating well also plays a huge role because, quite simply, we are what we eat. Our bodies can only use the fuel that we give it. So feeding it clean, whole, and unprocessed foods whenever we can, and also staying away from foods that we know that cause inflammation to our unique and beautiful bodies, regardless of whether they're considered healthy or not, will provide the energy that we need for our bodies to perform at their best. On the flip side, garbage in, garbage out. The importance of our microbiomes and the GI tract's second brain already has probably countless videos and channels dedicated to it on YouTube because it is that important. Because breathing is something that we naturally do all the time, it's easy to forget that we do it at all, let alone remember how powerful it can be for stress and anxiety management, including social anxiety. I described how to do box breathing in a previous video about ways to overcome overthinking, which I will link down below and set to the specific chapter about box breathing. I personally use box breathing to help calm me down when I'm feeling anxious, but also to help me fall asleep at night. There's also a yogic breathing technique called Pranayama breathing, where you alternate nostrils. The type of pranayama breathing that I do is called Anulom Vilom. This is where you start by exhaling completely and then placing your thumb over your right nostril. You then inhale through your left nostril for 3 seconds, and then you close that nostril off with your index and middle fingers while opening your right nostril to exhale for 3 seconds. And then through the right nostril, you inhale for 3 seconds and then close it off and exhale through the other side for 3 seconds. And then you just continue this alternating practice for 3 to 5 minutes, or really until just whenever you feel like it. And I find that even just breathing normally, but counting the ins and outs of my breaths, can help to calm my anxiety and bring me back into the present moment. Many of the mindfulness meditations in Andy Puttycomb's Headspace app utilizes the technique of counting your breaths up to 10 and then starting the process over again. Social anxiety can be incredibly debilitating if left to run amok. These 6 tactics are but a small number of the many ways to work with and overcome social anxiety. Whichever paths you choose, I hope that you will do so with patience, self-love, and self-compassion. If you found any of these tactics helpful, or you have some of your own that you would like to share, please leave them in the comments below. I would love to read them. Thank you so much for watching and for being here. And I will see you next time. Bye.